Hello and welcome to Miniatures Rundown. I'm Mitchell.
I'm Joshua.
And this time we are talking about
Bugs.
bugs. Still the new box, the new Leviathan box. but
Leviathan launch box for 10th edition, 40K.
This time the Tyranids.
Just in case this is the first video you've ever watched on our channel, I
Yeah.
have no idea what we're talking about. Hi and welcome.
So 40K is a miniatures game.
And Tyranids are bugs that want to eat everything.
Yes.
Right. Okay, we've covered most of it.
Caught up. There's every sculpt in this box.
So I'm going to be very honest.
Yeah.
This is the half of the box I'm more excited for.
Really?
I'm not a big Marines player.
I know you're not.
I'm probably going to start now
Yeah.
because I'm getting this box. But I have video of screenshot evidence of me talking to our friend Kevin, of me going, I would love to play Tyranids, but the sculpts are just old and I really don't want to play any of those sculpts.
Yeah.
Like 2 days before we went to Adepticon.
Really?
And I'm going to send that screenshot to you so you can put it right here.
Sounds good. I'll take that.
First up, and I want to say, I'm not going to say foremost, but
Yeah.
one of the big ones.
One of the big ones. This is honestly, I think this was the biggest surprise in the box for me.
Yes, same.
Because it is the resculpt of the Screamer Killer.
Right, which is...
So it's basically the leveled up version of the Termagant?
Carnifex.
Wow, I said the very wrong thing.
Termagants are litty bitty.
The leveled up version of the Termagants. The Carnifex, which, I mean, I think the Carnifex still holds up. I like that model.
It's not bad.
So I'm surprised they redid it.
But the Screamer Killer was an old metal version of the Carnifex, which absolutely
Yes.
does not hold up.
No. I mean, the metal one doesn't really
From
exist anymore.
1992, the year I was born.
Wow, you really aged yourself, literally.
Yeah.
But let's they gave us stats immediately on the first thing in the box. So let's look at those. It is movement 8, toughness 9.
So almost as tough as the Dreadnought.
Almost as tough as a Dreadnought. As tough as a Rhino.
2 up save.
2 up save.
10 wounds.
10 wounds, 8 leadership, and a OC of 3. So not quite as controlling as a Dreadnought.
No.
It has a ranged weapon that is range 18, D6 plus 3 attacks, only BS4, which is a little disappointing. Strength 8, AP2, 1 damage.
Okay.
So this is probably going to be the, like shooting the little stuff.
Yes.
But really, really good 2 wound roll against them.
Yeah, because you've
guess.
got a lot of attacks, and you're wounding Marines on 2s.
Yeah, which is not bad.
But you're kind of burying the lead, because what this is really about is the melee weapons.
No, we can just pass right on that. That Screamer Killer Talon with 10 attacks with strength 10.
AP2, 3 damage.
AP2, 3 damage. That is going to absolutely annihilate anything that's less than toughness 10.
I'm calling this guy Blendy Bug.
Yeah. When you have 4 arms that are all swords,
10 attacks makes sense.
10 attacks makes sense.
Abilities, he's got Synapse, which we've kind of seen a little bit
we've
about.
seen a little bit. He also has Deadly Demise 1, so he also explodes when he dies.
Yeah, we talked about that in the Marines side. And then Death Scream in your shooting phase. After this model has shot, select 1 unit hit by 1 or more of those attacks. That unit must take a battle shock test, subtracting 1 from the test.
So similar to what we covered in the Space Marine video with the Torrent, the Flamers, is he gives them a debuff if
they fail the test.
If they fail the test, that is true. And at -1, and it's if he hits.
Yes.
So that's
So we're seeing more the idea of controlling your opponent's minis by taking away their ability to affect objectives.
Yeah.
And their ability to get stratagems and buffs.
Yeah, that is, I think, a really interesting angle they haven't really tackled.
We're finally getting some more control stuff.
Yeah.
Because so much of 40K really boils down to kill them before they kill you.
Yeah, even the control of making them flee is basically just killing them in a different way.
Right.
But this is actually interesting.
Battle shock is no longer just more casualties.
Yep. I like it.
I hope it pans out.
Me too. The second is the Neurotyrant, which is basically the upgraded version of the Zoanthrope.
Right, which is the second.
Which is the psychic bugs. We don't know any stats on that. It also has some, what does it say? It doesn't say what they're called, but he has some little attendants.
Yeah, this is the one that just killed the librarian.
Yeah, the librarian starts glowing and it glows back and he just freaking falls over.
Yeah, great job, dude.
Again, most Marines get dumpstered by Tyranids in that trailer.
We also get the first of one we have not seen anything of this before.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing these in the trailer, but I think they were just off to the side.
I think there was, they were maybe in the background type thing. They
These
weren't
are
focused on.
Neurogaunts.
Yeah.
Which is bodyguards for the focusers of your synapse, so like the zoanthropes and stuff like that. and they've got little like bulbs on their back. Those
So-
are really interesting.
So this one and then one later, it says specifically are parasitic life forms that attach to them and change the abilities of them,
Right.
which is really cool.
So the Tyranid hive mind makes like basic bug chassis,
Mhm.
like your gaunts,
Yep.
and then attaches parasites to change them around to what it wants.
Yep.
Which is a concept I love.
Oh yeah, that's great.
That is so much better than just making different kinds of bugs.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we've got your basic bug, and then we attach, okay.
The thing I never really liked is the bugs that grew a gun out of their hand.
And there's still some of that.
I know.
But, well, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Things are a lot fleshier
Yes.
in this
I'm
box.
okay with it.
Me too. Speaking of things being fleshier, although maybe not because I think this was just armor, spikes, and rage. The Winged Tyranid Prime.
Yep, we saw a preview of this a couple days ago.
This is the one that ripped the Marine in half.
Yep, just
The
like
Terminator.
straight.
Can
and,
opener.
I really like this sculpt. A lot of people say that they don't care for like how it is positioned on there.
So the positioning makes me think of a Vargeist
Oh yeah, good point.
from Soulblight Gravelords.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I don't dislike it. I
Yeah.
don't think it looks great.
I think you look sweet.
I
it
also
is-
like the idea of transporting is better than someone with the wings going like this.
yeah, like the winged hive tyrant at the moment is like 10 inches across.
Yeah.
But yeah, this looks sweet. I love it. Von Ryan's Leapers, we've also seen the models for. I still hate the name more than anything.
The name is silly. The Cthulhu tentacles are great.
Yep.
And I like these as, you know what these basically are, right?
Hmm.
These are basically better Gene Stealers.
I don't want to say. So I was going to talk about
And that
this.
is not a bad thing.
That's not a bad So they are comparing them more to Lictors, which were the jump out of the shadows guys.
Yes. Well, so were Gene Stealers. It's just Lictors are terrifying jump out of the shadows guys.
Yeah, whereas Gene Stealers were more like the swarm aspect
Yes.
of it. And I have... I'll talk about it at the end after we're done with all the models. The Termagants are next, which...
We've seen.
Yep, we have seen. And also, they grew a gun out of their hand. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they did still grow guns. Or maybe they mass produced the guns and then you just like pick them up.
Maybe.
Like maybe that gun is also sentient.
That would be very funny.
It's the talking gun from Borderlands 2.
Well, actually, I was thinking that... Have you played Starfinder?
A little bit.
A little bit. They do have organic weapons.
Yeah.
Which would be interesting, where it's like it's just a bug that spits acid, so they just like pick it up and make it spit
I
acid.
believe that was a plot thing in Destiny 2. One of the guns you can get is
Really?
the soul of somebody, which is a little bug, so you load it into a gun.
Or what was that? Abe's Odyssey.
Oh God, yeah.
That was a while ago.
Then we get another one that we have not seen,
Yeah, this is entirely new.
the Barbgaunts,
Mhm.
which I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm gonna call them Barbgaunts, and so are so many other people.
These are my Barbaras. They are
Barbarologants.
they are basically they are in line with the Biovore and Pyrovore
So mobile artillery,
mobile artillery.
but these are pretty small.
They are small, and they also said that they're more short range, more than artillery. They did call out that they are more frontline.
And what I wanted to call out is that if you look really closely at the spot where the left hand is like holding the gun,
Mhm.
you can see the fingers squishing into the material there.
Yeah.
Things in this box, they're taking a new spin on Tyranids, which is much less just carapace, basically much less xenomorph, which is just, all spikes and carapace.
Yeah.
And going into more of the squishy, oozy, gooey land
Yeah,
world,
the cosmic horror.
which
aspect.
I am a fan of.
Yes. Have you seen the video game? Oh God, I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's like Twisted or Tormented or something like that.
Oh yeah, Scorn.
Scorn. That's
Yeah.
what it is. It's like you just wake up in a place that's made of meat.
You wake up in H.R. Geiger's best dream.
Yeah. And just like you have to like insert stuff into your hand and then like use it to open doors, and it's creepy as hell. It didn't look interesting.
The
but it
game
was
wasn't
creepy.
very good,
No.
but the idea was good.
The idea was good, and that's what this reminds me of.
And then the last one is the Psychophage, which is a terrible name. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Yep, Psychophage. Also, this is the librarian psyker hunter, and it's not the thing that killed the librarian in the trailer.
That's how bad they are. They got killed. But like this guy rolled up and was like, "Hey, is there any librarians?" You killed it already.
You killed the only. Come
You
on,
couldn't
man.
save that for me. Sorry.
Just-
Yeah.
just eats it.
Maybe, I mean, yeah.
But from what they said, it is a psychic hunter, and it kind of feeds on psychic energy, and it is a furnace.
It eats. It's. You know what this is, and I don't know if this is a reference you'll understand. Do you remember the Hell Cannon from Warhammer Old World? Have you ever seen that?
I did. I've seen the Hell
So
Cannon.
if you're a Total War Warhammer player, you know the Hell Cannon as the most annoying artillery unit in the game because the shots are homing because they're souls.
Nice.
The Hell Cannon is alive. It's a demon, and you can see the people shoving people into it, and then it takes their souls and shoots them.
That's great.
That's what this is. This is a Tyranid Hell Cannon.
That's interesting. I don't know if it's gonna be exactly like that.
No, but it's kind of, and I like that.
Yeah.
One thing. So that's all of them. That's all the models.
It does have some smoke coming out of the top, which people are potentially speculating it might be like an aura that it gives out. But we'll see. We have,
Very Night Haunt-y smoke.
yeah, it is.
So one thing I want to call out, a couple things. I know you've got something too. Is in at least 4 different models on here, they name drop an existing kit that says this kit calls back to that kit. But they're not resculpting those kits. They didn't get a new lictor. We got leapers. And I'm not calling them Von Ryan's leapers. They're leapers. We got leapers, not lictors. We got the Psychophage instead of the Haruspecs.
We got Neurotyrant instead of the Zoanthrope. This is exactly the point that I was going to bring up.
Okay.
I am afraid that they're primarisizing Tyranids.
Yeah, fear isn't the right word because kind of like the firstborns, I have no attachment to those old ones.
But here's what I don't want.
Right.
I don't want there to be a Zoanthrope and a Neurotyrant, and there's no reason to take a Zoanthrope.
Right, which was the problem when Primaris first released.
Yep.
They've since done a much better job of balancing them, with some exceptions.
With some exceptions.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's a casualty of how wide that range is.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of Primaris Marines that aren't takeable either.
That's true.
In 9th edition.
But
because they're bad. Look at all the tanks.
The thing that I'm worried about is that they are going to go like, look at the Leapers. They're basically
lictors, but better.
And then the lictors never get a resculpt, and there's no reason to ever take them.
My question was, are lictors going away? That's what I was going to ask. Are we going to remove a lot of those old kits, or are we going to firstborn it?
I think they're going to firstborn it.
Okay.
In my opinion. That or they're going to do a Legends. I don't think they're going to do that. Because if they were going to do that, why wouldn't they just make this the new lictor kit?
Specifically so you have to buy it and not use your old lictor kit?
That's the cynical aspect of it.
That is a cynical aspect of it.
I hope that is not the case.
We will find out. So sorry to end on a downer note here, but yeah, that's a very good point. It's like one way or another, we are getting new things that are very much meant to... Well, here's the thing, though. We haven't seen their rules, so we don't know if they're actually replacing those things. Or if they're just like, hey, it's like an evolved, like an offshoot, but you still can bring both.
Yeah, I want they have called out in a few of the, I don't know if it was Age of Sigmar or 40K, but they called out in a few of the meta watches that they want good internal faction balance.
Yes.
And that's what I hope they want in 10th edition.
One of the problems with internal faction balance is it gets harder and harder the bigger the faction gets.
I know.
Internal faction balance is very, very easy for Caradon Overlords.
Yeah.
It's why everything in there is good right now, because there's 10 War Scrolls.
Yeah.
It's virtually impossible for Marines.
Yeah, I agree.
I guess we'll find out.
We will.
We don't have a date yet, although it's looking, given the fact that they have spoiled everything in this box so thoroughly.
Yep. And there are demos going on.
I am saying we are not waiting until July.
Nope.
This is going to drop in June.
I believe so too.
Earlier June than later is my bet.
That's also my bet. I think.
And my hope.
I think that it is going to be a 2-week pre-order, either in the first or second week of June is the release. I would be okay with that because this box looks fantastic and I want it in my hands. I want it in my grubby paws.
When we find out, we will let you know
immediately,
and we'll see you then.